All right. First and foremost, of course, I got to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. And I do so in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world calls Jesus Christ, a black man, Yahweh Shah. It's your brother, Chief Priest Al-Azhar Lawyer, a.k.a. the Gorilla Hebrew. And Issa Gorilla is back. It's episode 12. Episode 12. First, I got to explain the hiatus. The hiatus most certainly was not one that was voluntary. Essentially, I lived my life on Mac computers. I love Mac computers. I always had. I had the green and clear iMac in the 90s. I had my MacBook and I had my iMac. Both of them became inoperable. Inoperable. I'm not just saying that right. Whatever. I can't operate. The MacBook went out in January when my daughter spilled a cup of water on it. But back like at the end of May, the iMac just went out, and I only had an iMac for about a year and a half. And it just went out. And you know, I waited to get them looked at because I wanted to have the finances available to repair them, and I figured the repair, I anticipated the cost of repairs, you know, being $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 even. And because of the intellectual property that's on there, the files and things that have been created on there, etc., I figured it was worth it. So July come around, I finally got the cash to, where I feel comfortable with walking in there and being able to pay for my repairs. And I discovered that both of my machines are inoperable. They're no good. It would be better off to buy a new one. So now I'm in semi-fundraising and semi-saving process for a new MacBook and things of that nature. So, and I did all my recording as far as audio went on the MacBook. I have another computer, which I'm on now, which is a Windows computer. And I just don't like Windows. I don't like the interface. I got it as a gaming computer because I had all intentions of starting a gaming channel on YouTube, which I still ain't got around to. And this computer is pretty good for that. But I'm like, it doesn't really have an audio program, etc. Like, I'm not even dealing with it. So, but then I discovered that it does have an audio program. And I know I can't deal with the vocals and edit the audio and do everything like I was doing on my Mac. So I just didn't want to deal with it. But now I'm finally giving it a try because I feel like I have so much to say about what's going on. And I say plenty as far as in teaching capacity, whether we're doing a classroom setting or whether we're on the streets. But there's other stuff I want to talk about as well. And that's the whole reason I started the Issa Gorilla podcast. And now I'm, over 2 months and there's been no installments. And I'm like, I got to talk about this stuff. This is getting too crazy. So I said, to hell with it. I'm going to give it a try. I don't know how great the audio is going to be. But, through the spirit, we're going to rock out. We're going to make it happen. I ain't tripping. People who rock with me is going to rock with me. I don't know how I'm going to get it onto YouTube yet. I got to figure that out. I'm hoping I got a way. But let's hope. If you're listening to this on YouTube, damn it, it worked. But we still on iTunes. Okay, which brings me to my next point, which is Spotify. My podcast distribution provider that I deal with has a Spotify option, which is a part of the incentive, in my opinion, the incentive to me signing up with them was the prospect of getting on Spotify. Sent the Spotify request in, logged in today, which I ain't been checking my podcast interface all that much because I ain't been podcasting. Checked it, found out Spotify rejected our application to be on their platform. Surprise, surprise. And this is just when I was getting ready to give them $10 a month. See, the first time I ever even used Spotify was just last week when Nicki Minaj album came out. I needed to be able to listen to it. It wasn't on YouTube. So I said, damn, I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I was very skeptical about it for a lot of reasons, which I believe I'll likely discuss later on. Hold on one second. One second. Deacon is about to have a debate, and he's asking me for something, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Had to help the brother with this source. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the spirit. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I had to listen to the damn Nicki Minaj album because for those of y'all that don't know, I'm a huge Nicki Minaj fan, and I'm not afraid or ashamed to say that. I followed her career from very early stages of it. I can't say the infancy because, according to her, really, her career kind of really started 02, 03. So I was much later than that, probably like 2008, like 2008, maybe as early as 2007, but certainly not earlier than that. So I'm a big fan of her, and I wanted to check the album out because I was skeptical about it because it's just been so much swirling around her. But I don't want to get off into her too much. We're going to talk about her later. And also, real quick, before I even go any further, I'm going to start a segment of the show called Story Time, right? Which, of course, at any given point, we could, spin off into a story. But I'm doing Story Time. I'll save it for the end. And today's story will be called Bringing a Gun to School. Bringing a Gun to School. Y'all ain't going to want to miss that. Trust me. Anyway, so I had to get on Spotify to stream Nicki's album. And then when you on the free level, you can't just listen to what you want to listen to. You gotta shuffle it. So I kept getting like other songs, all these weak songs from white girls start popping up. And it was frustrating, so I stopped. So I haven't even listened to Nicki album in its entirety. But we're going to deal with Nicki later, but that's just to bring up Spotify. So I was considering paying because I said, okay, I could listen to this like I want to, and then I can have access to a plethora of other music that I previously haven't had access to because it's not on YouTube, because YouTube is my main source of music. So I was considering it, but then they rejected me, so the hell with them. But then, right after I tweeted, which I told, yeah, I got a new Twitter now, too. So hit my Twitter. It's @TrapGodGorilla. @TrapGodGorilla, and that's gorilla spelled like the animal, not like how I typically spell it. Just like this podcast, it's a gorilla like the animal. Okay? And for the record, TRAP and Trap God is an acronym meaning Teaching, Revolution, and Perseverance. No, it is certainly not a reference to the trafficking of narcotics, all right, and destruction of communities. We're taking it, we're putting a righteous spin on it, and again, it's teaching, revolution, and perseverance. Remember that. Through the spirit of power, Yahweh Hashem help shine. Moving on. Salakia. So then Joe Budden, I find out, is now releasing audio exclusive podcasts twice a week now, doubling up on Spotify. Just signed a Spotify deal. This is crazy. So I start next month. But you know what? I'm going to stick to my guns. I may end up giving in. But I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick to my guns. I don't even have YouTube music. Like, I don't care. I'll skip past the ads, whatever. Like, I just stream that way. Because I know signing up for YouTube music helps YouTube and hurts artists. Or whoever owns the channels that the content is being put out. YouTube Red pays out a whole lot less than YouTube AdSense does. It's just period. So unless you got an exclusive agreement with them, which the average artist that I'm banging don't. They're making more money off AdSense, baby. So that's my thing with Spotify. Since it's been so long, y'all missed a lot. Or I haven't been able to talk about a lot candidly, like I can do the podcast platform. New York trip, Long Beach trip, and Detroit trip. I've been on 3 trips since then, since I last talked to y'all. Which is, which were the trips of my life. All 3, even though I don't even consider California like a trip like that, because I just stopped living there. I've been to Long Beach and LA so many damn times, but it was, it was what it was. But I feel at home there. I feel more at home in Southern California. The only place I feel more at home at than Southern California is Western Washington. But it is what it is. So yeah, New York, of course, was amazing. I'm not even gonna get into New York. New York was amazing. We won a Sonnet Award. All praise to the Most High. I met Zaza Ali, who I'll talk about later as well, who I'm a huge male groupie for. So it is what it is. I want to talk about the Long Beach trip, right? So we went to Long Beach. That was August the 4th, okay? It was monumental on a plethora of levels. Number one, August 3rd marked a decade of knowing that I was a Hebrew Israelite. So all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua again for that. A decade. Which still would make me a child in understanding. But, I'm just grateful that I've been given this and exposed to this knowledge for such a period of time, and I pray the Most High keeps me in it, until the day of deliverance, so I could get that pride. But it marked that. But a little backstory is going back about a month, or a little over a month before that, I get a call. I get a call from a brother, one of my beloved brothers who I knew, and kind of his he got kids, and his kids are younger than me, but his oldest daughter I knew because she wasn't like too much younger than me, but also both of his daughters are real cool with my wife, godmothers to my children, etc. Even my daughter calls one of his daughters auntie. So a brother who I'm kind of intertwined with, 6 degrees of separation. I hadn't known him on too personal of a level, but I knew about him and who he was, and being an OG, Crip from around the way. He moved to Long Beach. He's not originally from Long Beach. He's from Oceanside, California. And he moved to Long Beach though, and he began to come to the truth. I remember the first time I seen him on the subscriptions, because I know he raps as well, and he has a record label called Fourth Wave of Records, and that's in reference to having to waive your Fourth Amendment right when you're on probation, which is the right to search and seizure, for those of y'all that ain't familiar. So I seen him on the subscriptions. I said, damn, I know who that is. Like, I know that's the movement. That's him and his son. They rap. So I was glad to see it, and I seen him getting active on the comment board. I'm like, damn, this brother's coming to truth. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Beautiful. So anyway, he reached out to the Officer Yadai, which those of y'all who know Yadai, he's that short brother who's always on post holding that Caesar Borgia sign, that white Jesus sign. Officer Yadai, a lot of people don't know. Officer Yadai is an OG Crip, Oceanside, California man from back in the 80s, who had turned his life over and, learned the truth. Reached out to him and got my number. He called me, boom, this is me. Look, I'm in Long Beach. We need you. At that time in Long Beach, there was actually a murder that happened that had kind of shook up the city. He was informing me about. So some of y'all may know who Goldie Loke is. Used to rap with the Issa, Snoop Dogg, all that. His brother had died, and it was a major thing in Long Beach, and it kind of was stirring up controversy because people were trying to figure out who did it. So he was talking about, man, SICARRI, ain't nobody really put it down on the Hebrew Israelite side in Long Beach on this level. We would love for y'all to come do that. So I said, Dan, you're right. Long Beach is kind of untapped. If you're familiar with the LA area and the Israelite groups in the LA area, Long Beach is relatively untapped. You have a lot of brothers that are focused on South Central and Hollywood. Some even go downtown. You got brothers that go downtown as well. and I've seen, you know, some teaching in Compton and Watts, but the only people who I could say there was one or two brothers that was going out on some independent stuff, but they don't go out no more in Long Beach. And then I know True Nation did some operations in Long Beach as well. But outside of that, nobody's really been dedicated to Long Beach. And when I analyze that, I just feel like it's an atrocity. LA is so big and it's so vast, and there's so many places. I mean, even in South Central. I mean, there was even a video of the brothers from True Nation kind of getting, you know, sending shots across the street because IUIC was had set up across the street from the spot that they had been coming to for at least 5 years. And, you know, I hate to see things like that because I hate, you know, the scriptures speak about building on other man's foundation, preach the word of the Lord far away from where you've heard it, etc. So I dislike when I see stuff like that. And South Central is bad. There's so many different, we have to understand that, especially dealing with South Central, all the different spots there is to teach in. It's so because there's so many major intersections. You have major streets when you deal with Manchester, when you deal with Western, when you know what I'm saying, when you deal with Slauson, you know, in King Boulevard, all of these things, you have these Florence, if I didn't already name that, Century. You have these main streets have all kind of real estate to go teach the word in. You see what I'm saying? All kind. Figueroa, you know what I'm saying? All kind of real estate to teach the word in, and all of them places. And we have to understand that there is segregation that goes on because of gangs in South Central. So you are reaching literally entirely different demographics at each of these major intersections on any of these main drags that are going, you know, running north to south through South LA. So for you to be across the street from where somebody else is, it's retarded. You got a whole other audience that you could be getting outside from what these brothers have been doing. You know what I mean? So it's ridiculous. But going back to that, LA is so big and vast. There's so much work to be done there. It's kind of disheartening that nobody really put it down in Long Beach, but I took that as the spirit having the Most High to get on us to bridge that gap. You know, coming from the south, coming from San Diego, and coming from the east, coming from the IE, from our Inland Empire camp. So we did the camp with the brothers from the Inland Empire of San Diego and myself, and a lot of brothers came out, man. It was beautiful, beautiful representation of both kingdoms, so-called Negroes and so-called Latinos. It was beautiful through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. And I almost didn't make it, and that's how I know. And I praise the Most High. It was so beautiful. I almost didn't make it. I wanted to go so bad, but you know, just dealing like earlier with the laptop thing, it's a financial situation. You got to have money to be hopping on planes. And the flight was around, I want to say it was around 200 for a while, but I didn't really have the extra cash to spend. You know, brother got bills to pay. We all understand that. So I was hesitant about pulling the trigger on buying the ticket, even though it was only 200. I waited and it shot up to like 400. And I'm like, damn, I for sure can't go now. I ain't gonna ask somebody for that amount of money. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go. Then the week of, I said, you know what? If I fly in, I could try to fly in directly to LA Saturday and directly out of San Diego Monday and do it like that, because it was 400 to go from Dallas to San Diego, which during the week, a Dallas to San Diego one way is about like $70, around in between like $69 and $80. Like Captain Tazama, he's in town now. He's flying out in the morning for $69. You see what I'm saying? So it's beautiful through the spirit. But I found, I forget what I found it for, but it was low. Like it was around 200 I ended up paying. But I found a one-way in from Dallas to LA Saturday morning, and a one-way out San Diego to Dallas Monday. So I boom, I fly in Saturday morning. It's booming. I hop out. The newly brother Daniela Banyami had just made soldier, just made rank in the camp. He's the brother who runs Hebrew Israelite Clothing Co. Y'all make sure y'all hit up Hebrew Israelite Clothing Co. for all your Hebrew Israelite apparel needs. But anyway, boom, we hop out. I told brothers, pick me up in the car. I need a motorcade when I get. So brothers pull up 4 cars deep to pick me up out of LAX. Got me feeling like the president or something like that. You feel me? But hop out, boom. I tell Daniela, watch out, let me drive. This LA. I know these streets. you know, so boom, hopped in the driver's seat, put on my playlist. You know what I mean? There's a J Rock, for those of y'all who ain't familiar with rapper J Rock. He had a hard album that came out earlier this year, but on their song Vice City, he's in a group Black Hippie, of course. He, Schoolboy Q, Kendrick Lamar, and Ab Soul, and they got a song Vice City in it. You know, he got a line. He said, "105, I'm stomping fast with these big guns. I'm hella dirty." So anyway, key point, the first part, 105, I'm stomping fast. So the first thing I do is hop on the 105, man, and start riding. 1 second, Deacon's calling me. I'll be right back. Anyway, man, got to prep Deacon for that debate, but my fault. Where we at? Long Beach, 105, I'm stomping fast. Okay, boom. Smashing down the 105. I told all the Akim, all the cars that was following me, I feel bad for whoever following me. Because I'm gone. Stomp fast on the 105. And I told everybody I want to take the scenic route. You know, because, I ain't been to the West Coast in a couple of months and missed the West Coast street. So hop off the 105 at Long Beach Boulevard, man, and just ride through the hood, man. And, I always tell anybody, something that you need when you function in Los Angeles County, have your LA gang map. Go to Google, type in LA gang map. You need that because you need to know where you're at. You need to know who controls this particular territory, what's going on, who do they have issues with. You need to be conscious of all these things. Not because you are getting active in it, but you need to know what's going on. And it's effective teaching tool. Because if I'm ministering and I'm teaching to brothers who are, and I know where we at, so I know where they're from, what gang they claim affiliation to, then I understand who their rivals are, then I could use these things as teaching tools to teach them that we need to come together in unity as brethren. You know, if I say, oh, you guys are from such and such, y'all need to leave them brothers over there alone. They're not your actual enemies. These crackers ride around in these police cars, you see what I'm saying? So you need to know these things, and it's key. So boom, I show them, boom, taking them on a little ghetto ride, whatever. Down Long Beach Boulevard, boom. We stopped Long Beach in Pacific Coast Highway, at the PCH Metro Blue Line station. We diagonal from that, or I think they call it Kitty Corner, Caddy Corner, something like that. From there, boom. And where that area is a central kind of spot of the hoods in Long Beach. And it's a place where, it's the train stop. So you got to get off there. So you're like, we're right there on the border where, you got the Rolling 20 Crips, the Insane Crips at, not too far, the 19th Street Crips, and things of that nature. So, everybody knows Snoop Dogg being a legendary Rolling 20, guys like Trey D and Birdman's new artist, Savvy D, they from Insane, and they historic rivals. So we're right there. And we saw members of both gangs walk by as well, and some stopped and listened. SA's listening as well. SA from Westside Weemots that was listening for a long time. So we had a lot of that, and it's beautiful. And the brother, if y'all see from Street Gangs, the brother Canelo Park Paru, who was on there, who came into the truth, he was actually out there through the spirit of power of Yahweh Shemi. So it was beautiful. It was beautiful. We had a beautiful day of teaching. Officer Bazak opened us up, then I went on, and then Captain Tazama closed us out. Deacon had a little excerpt where he demolished the Negro-only doctrine. Y'all can catch that on the Sicarii channel. Beautiful, beautiful video through the spirit of power of Yahweh Shemi. So yeah, Long Beach was great. Then I hopped back in the whip. I hopped in Shamar's car, though. Drove that down to Dago. Did what I did. Said hi to who I didn't say hi to, and then we hit some corners and went out and I fellowship with my brother, man, and it was beautiful. And then I was able to see my pops, man, and my family, some members of my family that are still in that area. My little brother, my mom. The next day, which was cool, cool for sure. And now I was back to Dallas because I had to leave to Detroit on Thursday. So. Now Detroit was 1 second. Detroit was amazing. Okay, but Detroit, the thing about Detroit was, and I had a feeling in the spirit I had to get in early. Which, if you're a loyal listener, I always got to get in early to any airport. I got to be at least 3 hours early to any airport when I got a flight because, I'm a quadruple West automatic special screening. So I get in extra early, and they do me in this time. They like, look, the line. Was the line dumbass? Yeah, the line was dumbass long, so I had to wait in this dumbass long line. And well, first, of course, it's the ticket. I gotta wait. Typically, it's averaging out to be about 20 minutes for my ticket, but it could even be an hour sometimes. But I had to wait about 20 minutes for my ticket. Gets my ticket, boom, hits the line, long ass line, waiting in the line. They're like, all right, cool, boom, we taking you to a special screening location. So we had to walk out of the airport and walk to another part of the airport in the thunderstorm, which is great, right? Take me to a special spot where they're doing extra thorough screening. It was at least an hour and a half before I finally got in between getting my ticket and getting through security. It was about an hour, at least an hour and a half. Whatever, cool. Gets on my plane. What did I fly? I flew Delta. I flew Delta or American. I think I flew one of them. I forget. What did I watch? I watched Proud Mary. That's what I watched. Proud. That's what I watched in Detroit. No. That was Long Beach. I don't remember. I'm starting to forget. Anyway, whatever. It's irrelevant. Then what I do? Okay, boom. Gets off the plane in Detroit. Meet my powerful soldier out of Sacramento, Ayash Awad. Anybody in that area, hit us up. We got a soldier out there. Ayash Awad is there, and we run into Elder Barak because of course the whole purpose of Detroit is the summit. The elders are there. It's beautiful. Yeah. So boom, we hops in the Uber. We go to our Airbnb. Our Airbnb is right on 7 Mile. Right. For those of y'all that don't know about Detroit, 7 Mile, that's the hood. That's the hood. And when I go to any city, I like to stay in the hood. And the reason why is because I want to, number one, go where my people is at. But number two, I want to experience, when I go to a city, I want to experience the city for real. I just don't want to see what they have for tourists. I want to experience the city for real. So we pull up to the block where the Airbnb is at, right off 7 Mile. Grimy block. I mean, there was at least 5 boarded up houses on the block. And boarded up houses is nothing new to me, but in a lot of these areas, especially on the West Coast, they kind of have done away with boarded up houses in a lot of areas, in a lot of hoods. Like that was reminiscent of the 90s. Like when I was a kid and I was young growing up on the come up back in Tacoma on the hilltop, it was always boarded up cribs. You feel me? But you don't see that much anymore, condemned houses. Detroit is the same, like every other building is boarded up. I told people, imagine the worst block, the most grimy looking block you've ever been to. I said, that's how the whole Detroit looked, except downtown. And a couple of tuck offs that, I was shown. But we pull up, boom. Even the house that we had is kind of looking kind of grimy. We got in, I ain't gonna lie, I was looking right on the inside. And that's what people are doing. They're buying these houses for super low. I mean, literally pennies on the dollar. People are buying whole cribs for in between 6 and 20,000. Cheapest house I ever heard of, 70 racks. It's funny because I seen a meme and I had snapped this. Somebody put a meme out, and I seen a sister shared it. She was from Texas. And matter of fact, let me pull it up. This meme was hella funny to me. Yeah, right. So it's a picture of Tariq from Power, and I guess I got to talk about that. Now that I think about it, I'll put that on the agenda, but we'll deal with that later. Tariq from Power, Ghost's son, and it says, when niggas grew up in a $200,000 plus crib, went to private school, but want to be hard. This y'all right here, this nigga. That's what it says. And I go on to say, this is clearly made by people from the South. You ain't getting a crib in no hood in LA for less than $300,000. And half the gangbangers in LA went to private schools. They all in South Central. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of preparatory schools, Catholic schools, Christian schools, all over South Central. And a lot of these reputable, legendary gang members that's out here pressing the line, they went to those schools. You ain't getting no rinky-dink shack in the hood for less than 300 racks. in South Central and other parts of California, but I amplified LA because no one's gonna dispute that South Central niggas is gangsters. I mean, it's where Crip and Blood came from. So no one's gonna dispute that. I could have gave other examples as well, but nobody gonna argue whether or not there's gang members in LA, gangsters in LA. So that's why I amplified Los Angeles the way I did. But you know, in the South, a $200,000 house is something serious. You can't get a damn thing. You barely. I don't even know if you can get a condo at this point, 200 racks in Southern California like that. In coastal Southern California, that is. I don't even think you can get that for real. And yeah, like I said, a lot of gangsters went to private school. A lot. And you could just go listen to these OGs interviews. They'll tell you about how they went to private school. Spider Loc went to private school. Right? You gonna call him a mark? I'm trying to be hard, even though he went to private school. He grew up in South Central Compton, back and forth. You see what I'm saying? But whatever. What was the point of me saying all that? Where was I at? Detroit. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Horrible, right? Horrible. Oh, how they get in the crib? Okay, cool. But the crib was cool. All right, bet. But I noticed something outside of the board up cribs. Driving to Detroit from the airport, or driving to the airport. I noticed I was seeing a lot of good-looking sisters, a lot of good-looking women, right? So then, when we get ready, sisters come pick us up for the it's Thursday, so it's the meet and greet, summit meet and greet, Masharai Yashala meet and greet. For the meet and greet, we driving. It's in Oak Park, so we got to drive through the hood and then kind of out of the city into the Oak Park, which is like an immediate suburb of Detroit. And I get to the park, and I'm seeing some of the most amazing women I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking about amazing women. Amazing. And I'm like, are there ugly girls in Detroit? I've never seen nothing like I saw in Detroit. And I made a post on Facebook the 3 days I was at a Facebook jail. And it was, brothers on the West Coast, we've been robbed of our life. We've been robbed of our life. What do I mean? The West Coast, we don't have a significant amount of black people on the West Coast like they do in the rest of the country, in the Midwest, in the South, and the East Coast. We just don't. So we've been robbed. The amount of black women, amazing, just gorgeous. But I told everybody it looked like Instagram. When you go to Instagram and you see sisters do what they're doing on the gram and just be cute and pretty and beautiful. But you only see the cute ones, you know what I'm saying? That's the gram. That's how Detroit was. I live in Dallas now, of course, moved to California, and I said, Dallas has the highest amount of women that I find attractive out of any place that I've been. This has been from Mexico to British Columbia and Canada. That's the whole West Coast. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Vegas. I've been to Atlanta. I've been to Miami. I've been to New York. And Dallas had the highest amount of women I found attractive out of any place I've been. And I slept on Dallas, and I didn't think Dallas was going to have it, but it did. But once I went to Detroit took the cake. Detroit has, bar none, hands down, the highest volume of women that I find attractive out of any place I've ever seen. I made the statement that if I would have grew up in Detroit and lived my whole life in Detroit, I probably would have had 5 baby moms. I'm just being real. That's honest to goodness. I'd have had 5 baby moms, at least 3, but probably more like 5, the way I used to get. I would have been having babies at 14, 15 years old if I'd have grew up in Detroit. I know that for a fact. Well, of course, you can't know it for a fact because it never actually happened. It's hypothetical. But I know I have a very strong inclination and conviction to make that statement. 3 to 5 baby moms, but more like 5. Guaranteed. I mean, Detroit, y'all got the women. And the thing is, like, there's a couple of bras from Detroit that I follow as far as how Instagram going. I'm like, you know, Detroit do got joints like, of course, Cash Doll, and another sister, Lovely the Short. You know, but man, I didn't know it was going down like this. Like, it's really, Detroit is really going down. Detroit is really winning as far as the sisters go, in my opinion. Beauty is something that is in the eye of the beholder. So each individual person, you know, will have their own opinion on that. But I've never seen that volume of attractive women in my life as I have in Detroit. I've also never seen that volume of boarded up houses as I have in Detroit. Well, hey, it is what it is. Got to take the good with the bad, baby. But anyway, so outside of that, I just want to do that. We had the meet and greet. It was beautiful. But one of my best friend, Joe Slids, we call him. He's from Lansing, which is not far from Detroit, right? And he hits me. He like, yo, you in the D, bro? You got to go to Coney Island. I'm like, all right, cool. I keep that in mind. So I wake up early Friday morning, trying to kill time. If y'all, you know, follow the channel, I did a live that morning. But man, I was hungry, man. I was hungry as hell. I was waiting for Ayasha Wad to wake up, and I looked up online and I seen that we had a Coney Island walking distance from the spot we was at. It's an Aurora's Coney Island, because people in Detroit explain to me that each Coney Island is different. Some don't have the same things, and etc. There's nuances with Coney Island, apparently. So, yeah, so we went to Coney Island. You know, it was just a couple blocks from the crib. You know, and it was a good way to, you know, kind of take in Detroit. It was early in the morning, about 8 a.m. A nigga hit us up trying to see if we wanted some weed. I said, damn, it's early to be selling weed, man. Niggas is really on the grind out here. You know, it was funny because I was seeing gang graffiti in Detroit, and I didn't know, you know, what the gangs was like out there. I was under pressure, wasn't quite like it, but I seen Growing a 60 Mile, Pyro hit up, so that was interesting. But boom, so we falls up in the Aurora Coney Island. Beautiful sister. Working behind the counter. I ordered I was hungry. I ordered a gyro, but I was hungry as hell. I ordered a gyro and a banana shake. I was hungry as hell though. So I ate the gyro and I was like, man, yeah, this ain't it. So I go back, boom, holler at baby behind the counter. What's up? Like, what's good? And she looked at me and I'm like, nah, like, not what's good, what's good? And she was like, oh, you know, so kind of had a moment. I think she was feeling me. Anyway, so, you know, she said chicken and waffles. So I said, all right, bet, I'm going to get the chicken and waffles. I made chicken and waffles amazing. Boom, we go back to the crib. Then we got to go to the camp. It's a camp, you know, street teaching. You know, so we go out to one Hart Plaza. Hart Plaza is where we go out to where the street teaching is. And it's beautiful because where we're camping at, literally there's a black fist in the back. So that's powerful. But there's this Rib and R&B Fest, and that's part of the reason why the brothers even picked the summit to be this weekend, so we can street teach and reach a lot of people who are going to be packing in the Ribs and R&B Fest. They say it's a lot of people that always go there. So that is cracking. But I'm starving. I get there, I'm starving. I'm with Elder Madatawa, Elder Kahan, Elder Karaka Allah, Elder Bunyamin, Elder Barak. We starving. And the new moon is coming, the Sabbath is coming in. So it's a race because it's already late in the day. We got to make purchases before the sun go down, etc. Man, so I falls up in there, boom. I'm looking around, trying to see, you know, what's clean, what I could eat. And I find a spot. And the spot, it started with a V. I think it was the View. It was something like View. Matter of fact, let me look. Views, that's what it was called, Views. And they actually happened to be right around the corner from the Airbnb we had, but they just had a stand at this festival. They had live music, DJ, all kind of stuff. but they had a stand at this festival. So what I end up doing? Boom, I hit the view spot up. Man, they had lamb chops at that month. Would have got me some lamb chops and fries, but I needed something to drink. But the whole time I seen an elephant ear stand. Let me tell you something. Elephant ears, just hearing it brings up such fond memories of my youth from going to the Puyallup Fair. Anybody from the Northwest, especially Western Washington, if you know about doing a Puyallup, you know, elephant ears, nigga scones, it was going down. So it brings back such fond memories. And also from the movie, if y'all remember 101 Dalmatians, when the little fat puppy said, I'm so hungry I can eat an elephant, right? Which is hilarious. And it was something my mom used to always say that we always found funny. So the elephant ear, it brings back hella fond memories to me. It triggers them. So I'm like, you know what, elephant ear, I ain't seen an elephant ear in years. What I remember, they're bomb. So I'm definitely getting the elephant ear. So I go, I get my lamb chops. I get my elephant ear. Niggas was walking around with these pineapple drinks. You know, pineapple with the slushy drink, the pineapple. I'm like, yo, I need one. But I'm hesitant because I'm like, damn, I don't know if they're alcoholic. Y'all know I'm a Nazarite, I don't drink. For those y'all don't know, now you do. So I'm like, damn, like, what do I, you know, I'm trying to see, but there's hella long ass line. So I'm like, I don't want to wait in this long ass line just to find out that the alcoholic I can't get them when I could have been trying to find something else to eat. I mean, drink rather, because I need hydration. A nigga like me, I'm thirsty. You feel me? I need to drink my water, my juices, my pops, you know, or sodas, or you know what I'm saying? I need something to drink. So I'm going around, I'm trying to just get a pop or a soda like from somebody. And all the places I'm going to, they don't accept card. I don't have no cash. Niggas know I don't really deal with cash like that. So I'm like, all right, damn. So I'm like, you know what? There's another pineapple stand. They had two stands up in there. So I ran up on the other one because the line wasn't really, it was short. So I'm like, what's up? Is alcoholic? He's like, nah, I can put alcohol in. I'm like, nah, I'm good. So I get the pineapple with pina colada and blue, half pina colada, half blue wine. It was bomb for $20. Y'all imagine that, 20 goddamn dollars for this pineapple drink, but it came with a free refill, right? Which you know I got. So yeah, so I got that. Boom, I'm cracking. You know, so we had the camp. It was a beautiful camp. Y'all see the video? It's already out. This is Friday. Had my elephant ear wasn't half as good as I remembered it to be, but it was fine. I ended up getting away to a young brother who asked for it. Well, he asked for a piece. I broke him off a piece, and he come back and I'm like, you know, you go ahead, just have it. So you know, it was great. And y'all see, there's a picture of me floating around with the with the pineapple drink. But yeah. So where was I at? Okay, so boom, that was Friday. Saturday comes the summit. The brother landed a immaculate facility at Wayne State University, Tech Town. That was an immaculate facility. We had a beautiful Sabbath service. I taught Psalms the second chapter through the Spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. We had a beautiful summit, man. And you know, the brothers who on the YouTube channel is called Adam Abbott. So a lot of people call him Adam Abbott, but their camp name is Watchmen for Israel, WFI. Brothers who we've been able to fellowship with in the past, who we have a good relationship with, who we love, man, and they were able to make it out. And actually, the leader, who people call Adam Abbott, whose Hebrew name is Naquan, he's from Detroit, so this was kind of like a milestone in a few regards for them. And it was very reminiscent of me, and which I said when I spoke on it, and I looked at the doctor when I said, you know, it's reminiscent of my first summit. You know, my first summit, which was Compton, the fifth summit. You know, we showed up. We were a little bit late, but you know, we showed up and they gave us the head table, which we just were trying to stand in the back, and they gave us the head table and they invited me up to speak, and I had no clue. I didn't know that they were going to do that, you know. So it was beautiful, but they honored us as young brothers who are, you know, forerunners right now through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We're doing the work, and you know, these brothers at Watchmen have got to experience the same type of treatment from, you know, our beloved elders. So that was good, and I was had the opportunity to be a part of the other side, to where we were extending that honor to young brothers who are out here really putting that work in, man. I mean, it was beautiful, and you know, Brother Naquan and the Watchman was invited up to say some things, man, that they was able to speak, and man, it was great. It was great. But After the summit broke out, I'm looking at actually no, in between the summit and the Sabbath service, because there's a break. So I'm gonna backtrack. I'm looking in the clown. I'm like, bro, what's up? Like, what's up, bro? He's like, I'm like, what's up? You trying to teach? He was like, hey, yeah, I'm trying to teach. I think he might have said he was trying to teach. So I was like, what's up? And because they didn't, because they were traveling, so he hadn't got to teach that weekend at all. He was traveling on Friday. So I'm like, bro, let's go. Like, I'm saying, I'm with it. SICARRI, we here. It was me, Soldier Ayash, and Soldier Pagai Aleph, who came in from Canada, from Toronto. So I'm like, bro, we with it. Watchman is there deep. It's us. We're like, man, what's up? So we end up after the summit, like right after we cut out, boom. And man, we went back to One Heart Plaza and we turned it back up on a camp. And the thing was, the brother Shofar, who was the host, the leader of Swords of Zion camp out there in Detroit, he told me, because we went out there on Friday, he was like, man, usually this Ribs and R&B fest is way more cracking than it was. Like, it was still cracking, don't get me wrong, on Friday, but he was like, it's usually more cracking. When we went out Saturday, I saw what he was talking about. It wasn't cracking as hard the first night as it was on Saturday. So it was dumbass dumping, man. And y'all seen the video, we went live, video called Watchmen, Sicarii LOZ live, Detroit camp. That was a powerful camp. But there was also something I forgot for Friday. My bad. Let me go back. So Friday, at the camp, this little bootleg Joe Jackson, Teddy Riley looking motherfucker, who is the event coordinator of the Ribbon R&B Fest, he goes and calls the police and try to get the police to convince us to move. Talking about we blocking the entrance, which we're not. If y'all see the video, we're not blocking the entrance. We're not deterring traffic or customers from coming in there. He had a dumbass line. It was packed. They made their damn money, period. But he's over there talking about, man, come on, trying to convince the elders, hey, help a brother out. Can y'all just move? We like, bro, we not moving, bro. Nigga really threw a fit, old fake Teddy right there. I promise you the nigga looked like a cross between Teddy Riley and Joe Jackson with a pink-ass Simon shirt on. It was ridiculous. I just had to tell that story, though. Then, boom, fast forward now, Sunday. Sunday, a couple sisters that I know from Detroit. Well, one I know, and then she introduced me to her sisters that's in the truth. They picked me up and they was just showing me around Detroit, and then they had dropped me off. They had dropped me off at the cookout, because that's what Sunday is for the summit. It's the cookout day. So it was a beautiful time at the cookout, man. My man Aj Yasharala, leader of I Am Israel and the Maccabee Alliance Council, man, he was in there cutting up, acting a fool, man. Dancing to them old school cuts and things like that. It was great, man. My brother Shaul, he made a turkey bacon burger dog, man. And it was amazing. But I could only eat half of it. That's how massive it was. Pause. But it was great. It was great. So, those were some of the highlights of that. And there was some young sister, man. She had cheesecake in a Gerber jar. I had to get those. Those was cracking, man. And it was cool, man. It was cool as a fan. Sister Kaya and Abby, they made some curry chicken, man. And I ain't gonna lie, man. It was fire. It was a fire cookout, and it was, of course, that period on the fire weekend through the spirit and power and grace of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. But boom. So the sister come back who had dropped me off, and her, me, Ayash Awad, and a couple other brothers from the cookout, from the summit, brothers who live they live in Pontiac, man. Shout out to those brothers. We went to go see Black Klansman. And we went to a theater, man, and the theater was like, it was where Crackers was at. And I was like, damn, I've been to Detroit. I ain't seen this many white people like since the whole time I've been here. So where a lot of white people was at, whatever, like a redid old school themed theater or whatever. You know what it was. But Black Klansman was cool, and I already did mine on the live stream, so I ain't even gonna get into it. But I already said my piece on that. So then, boom, and then afterwards, the sister was driving, smashing us around all over Detroit, and she made sure to take us to Southwest Detroit, which they call Mexican Town, where the Northern Kingdom Latino tribes be at. So that was cool. We really got to see and experience. I damn near seen all of Detroit, which was great by the grace of the Most High. And then, we hit Coney Island up one more time by the crib. What did I end up getting to Coney Island that day? I think I got chicken and waffles again. Did I get chicken and waffles? I think I ended up getting chicken and waffles again. Hold on, this time's on my calling. So anyway, where was I at? Oh yeah, we had some Coney Island again, and then I got on a plane and brought my ass back to Dallas. So that was the Detroit trip. It was beautiful. It was powerful, and all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah for it. Now with that, there is I talked about Spotify earlier. There's another like subscription service based thing that this one I do subscribe to, but I have a gripe with. I have a major gripe with, and I'm gonna Google something right now. Okay, so this is great. I'm just gonna praise Yahweh Shem Shah. Even though I don't like this, we still give him thanks and praise. So Sling. Sling is something I had before, and I liked it. But the primary reason I like Sling was because it provided a channel. Because I don't really deal with cable like that. I do now. I have cable. I never watch it, but it carries a channel called El Rey, the El Rey Network, which is a great channel, a grindhouse themed channel that plays a lot of Black and Hispanic programming, and a lot of grindhouse movies, and things of that nature, as well as my favorite program on it, which would be Lucha Underground, a wrestling show, a Lucha Libre show. And yeah, so I had it, and then I stopped. I canceled it last year, and then I got it again this year. And the only reason I got it this year, if y'all remember in the earlier one, I want to say it's podcast number 4. It's a Gorilla 4. OJ Confession, something like that, I think. Did OJ confess? That's what it was. And I thought, and it was online that you can watch the OJ special on Sling. So I got it for that purpose. I got the $40 package for that purpose. And then they didn't even have it because my local Fox affiliate blacked it out in the region. So I couldn't even watch it. And I ended up, again, if y'all don't remember, I'm recapping, watching it for free on YouTube, which is crazy. I even downloaded that thing, which is on a computer that don't even work anymore. Great. So anyway, that's the whole reason I even got it. But then I kept it because Lucha Underground was coming on with a new season, and this was going to be my only opportunity to watch it. Since moving to Dallas, I got cable. So I wanted to end my subscription, but I kept forgetting, not getting around to it. Then I was like, well, my carrier, my cable provider, the package I have doesn't even have El Rey. So, there's a little bit of, I'm like, damn, I'm paying $40 out for basically $10 an episode of Lucha Underground. And, I might watch some other stuff, they got on demand, etc. But for the most part, like, that's really, the staple to me of why I would have that. And then I'm like, you know what, to hell with it, I'm canceling this. I try to log in. It won't let me log in. I'm like, am I using the wrong email? I go to the email. This is clearly the email. I'm typing in the right email. Every password combination I put in don't work. When I say that I forgot my password, no email comes giving me no reset information. So I literally can't cancel this, and it's hit me for $40 a month. And I can't cancel it. And then on top of it, there is no consolation because Lucha El Rey is a byproduct of Univision, and Univision had a dispute with Dish Network, that's the owner of Sling, and they no longer carry their program. I'm just going to read you some headlines. Dish and Sling TV lose Univision channels in price dispute. Univision is still dark on Sling. That was July 1st. Then July 11th. Univision is still dark on Sling and Dish TV. Now the latest one, August 4th, Univision is probably not coming back to Sling TV. So there is no consolation in the fact that I keep getting hit for $40. And the reason is because the channel that I even would watch on there, they don't even carry it. Right? And I can't call my bank and stop payment because the way these ACHs work, it's on this card no matter what until I resolve it with the merchant. So the only way out of this is to report this card stolen and get a new one. But if I report this card stolen and get a new one, then it messes up every other auto pay and on-file card thing I have lined up. And that far outweighs this $40, I'll be honest. So I got to figure out how in the hell I'm going to get rid of Sling. That certainly isn't worth $40 anymore because a lot of its subscription was coming from El Rey, as well as in addition to all the other Spanish-speaking entertainment that they have, which is all the Univision channels, Unimas, etc. Which I didn't watch Unimas and all that, but I know a large portion of Sling subscribers did. So that's another gripe I got, right, with these subscription services, right? But I'm going to move on from that. Today I received my first bottle of liquid chlorophyll as the final step in my infancy stages of trying to become healthy. I was given by a lovely sister by the name of Carla, who you see on the comment boards. If she's hearing this, big shout out to you. She gave me some black seed oil, which people have been prescribing to me to get since they start hearing my cough. So I got some of that. I've been taking that. Still got a little cough though. My apple cider vinegar, honey, and now I got the liquid chlorophyll. How I even got hip to the liquid chlorophyll was through Zaza Ali, who is my conscious crush. Everybody knows I love Zaza. Went to her event. She's just everything. If y'all don't know about Zaza Ali, nigga, get familiar. Let me find this. Was it a tweet or was it a Instagram post? Let me see. Here it is, yeah. Okay. So she made this post on Instagram on July 29th. It says, I try to drink 3 to 4 cups of bottled water mixed with chlorophyll a day. Chlorophyll is a body deodorizer made from plant melanin. It boosts the immune system, increases energy, promotes healthy skin, hair, and nails, and is an overall antioxidant. Highly recommended by yours truly. So this post alone made me hit up Puritan's Pride and get some liquid chlorophyll. Okay, so I'm going to start my regimen of it soon, but I've already began with black seed oil, apple cider vinegar, and honey. So I'm going to start with this. But this plug alone, she sold me. Especially with all, look at it again. Internal deodorizer, boosts immune system, increases energy, promotes healthy skin, hair, and nails, and is an overall antioxidant. What more do you need to know? So she can have me sold on that. So my first bottle just came in today. So all praise Yahweh Shemel Shai. I pray that the Most High allows me to utilize the things that He's put on this earth to heal us, to heal myself, and to remain healthy, try to be healthier. Especially as getting older. I'm knocking on 28, 30s around the corner. If we're here long enough, so I gotta get healthy so I can keep up with these kids, man. And be out here on these streets preaching this word through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Period. So now I want to talk about claws. All right, now that I got that out the way. Claws. Claws, the show you heard me rave about. Starring Niecy Nash and Karuchi. Two extremely beautiful sisters. And it's been power. It's Power and then Claws. Those are my favorite shows as of these last couple years, right? Claws season 2 just came to its culmination. It was building up, and a couple episodes ago, because I watch it with my wife. So a couple episodes ago, my wife's like, I'm just not interested in Claws no more. I'm like, damn, for real? Like, why? She's like, it's just not interesting. I stayed with it. I love it. Right? And just the visuals probably do it for me. But so yeah, so spoiler alert for anybody who's listening to this. If you don't want to, if you only watched season 2 in its full, spoiler alert, especially for the finale. So what's happening is this: you have Desna, who is Niecy Nash's character. Her character falls in love with a Haitian doctor, whose name is Gregory Wavon. All right, Gregory Wavon. Gregory Wavon. Who's played by what's my man? Jean Louis. So anyway, he so yeah, he's a doctor, boom. And it comes out that he's really a Haitian mob boss. Got the Haitian mafia. Ride with Zopan ride with him. Anyway, so it comes out in the show that basically he is popping, having sex with the Russian lady that Niecy Nash's character works for. Right? Niecy Nash walks into the crib and hears them talking about her and how they're tricking her while they're getting ready to have sex. So Niecy Nash is betrayed. Boom. She's like, okay, I got to screw both of them. Then the Russian comes to her and tells her the whole thing once the situation starts to blow up because she planted seeds of dissension and made the Haitians feel like the Russians robbed them. So they broke that whole thing up. Haitians started killing Russians after that. So now then she started working with the Russian bitch. That's why I get mad. Damn, okay. You mad at this black man, you gonna get with this white bitch. That's bullshit to me. It's bullshit. I'm gonna be real, it's bullshit. And here's why. Yeah, he was up there laid up with that white girl, and I don't condone that whatsoever. But the type of love that he was showing to Niecy Nash, I said, I'm in my mind, I'm a Haitian man. I know how we get in. I know how we think. In my mind, I'm thinking he's playing the white bitch. Really, it's a double cross. This never clicks in Niecy Nash's head at any point in the show, and it frustrates me. So her plan is, damn that, I'm gonna kill this nigga for this white girl, and we're gonna hand all of his business over to the white girl because after she marries, cause she's the, she inherits everything, right? After he dies. So kill him, inherit everything, give it to the Russians. Of course, the Russian bitch is double crossing, but we'll get to that. So they get married, go to the honeymoon suite. It's honeymoon. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to eat that. Like, still, right? She gets a call on the phone from the Russian girl's daughter, who's like, look, it's a setup. They're going to kill you, blah, blah, blah. He like, damn, for real? All right, cool. Boom, get off the phone. He looking at her like, damn, you was going to do me like that? So she started really trying to wrestle with this nigga and kill this nigga. And he's just like, damn, this is messed up. And he's like, girl, I love you. And then she like gashed cuz across the chest. And he's like, girl, I love you, and I have to kill you. And all I'm thinking in my mind is, like, he's not gonna do you like that. Because the whole thing was my fault. I'm not telling the story good. It's because it's a lot, and I watch it. It's been 2 weeks since I watched it. The whole thing was that they basically the Dixie Mafia, who were like the white trash mafia, who Niecy Nash's character used to work for, opened up a pharmaceutical clinic in her name, and she didn't know it. The state of Florida isn't giving out pharmaceutical licenses, so essentially the Russians and the Haitians were working together to trick Niecy Nash and then kill her, so he as her husband can inherit her pharmaceutical clinic license, and then they could open up more pharmaceutical shops because they're major cash cows as legal drug operations, right? And that was the whole point. So he's looking like, what the hell? Like, I wasn't even gonna do that. Then she seemingly kills him. The reason why I say seemingly on the show, of course, she kills him, but I believe that he might not be dead. Just like in season 1, the white boy she was with, he was seemingly dead. They shot his ass, put him on a boat, and set it on fire, and set it out to sea. And that nigga was alive. I think he's alive. Plus, he's Haitian. He's more resilient. He's stronger. He's more powerful. And the nigga know voodoo. So I don't think he's dead. Even though they found a body, he could do the good old switcheroo. We don't know. That's what I think. And if season 3 don't start like that, Claus lost me as a fan and as a viewer. But the thing is, after he died, she finds out that he opened up a casino in her name. Was going to give her a whole business. So that in and of itself is a testament, in my opinion, to the fact that he never planned to kill her in the first place. That he loved her and he was going to get with her. He was going to fuck them crackers over. Because that's how we get down over here in Haiti, baby. But that's just me. So my thing with Claus is, and then they got Virginia Carucci character get shot in the dome. That's the last scene. Damn all that. I ain't going for none of that. If Carucci ass ain't alive and Gregory Revo ain't alive in fucking season 3, you niggas lost me. Period. Alright? As for Power, I'm mad at fucking Power because you niggas had the nerve to give us 6 bullshit episodes and then give us 1 good episode and then the next fucking week take a goddamn week off and make us wait for the next shit when the shit just getting good. That's my grief with Power. I'm gonna go right past that though. We're gonna get into Nicki Minaj. I was gonna get into this top 10 teachers thing, but I'm gonna do that on another podcast. Different. I'm probably gonna do it with her side because now we're gonna do because Beige Raves. I done had Beige Raves is like the 0.5 episode of the Issa Gorilla, but I'm gonna sever that and let Beige Raves be its own thing, but I'll still upload it on the same platforms. And then I'm probably gonna also start doing a wrestling podcast, Gorilla 316. All right, look out for that. And I'm probably going to be starting up my Patreon exclusive Gorilla in the Mix podcast as well. So y'all look out for those. I want to get into Nicki Minaj, who I love and I follow very earnestly over the course of her whole career. Almost, yeah, over 10 years I follow Nicki Minaj, over a decade. And I hate to say it, and I'm sad to say it, but Nicki Minaj is over. Baby, it's over. It's done. I'm sorry. It's done. It's over. It's fucking over. There's no two ways about it. It's fucking over. Pink Friday was a great album. Pink Friday Roman Reloaded was a great album. The Pink Print was a cool. Let me take a look at the Pink Print so I can remember what's on the Pink Print. Track listing. Only. What's it called? Pink Print was a cool album. I won't say a great album. Let me look at Roman Reloaded real quick to make sure it was great. Pink Friday certainly was great. Let me try this. Okay. Come On the Calm was one of the hardest songs he's ever did. Bees in the Trap. Starships. Okay. Okay. I'll be honest. Pink Friday Roman Reloaded was not a great album. It was a good album. So I'm going to tell you like this. This is the sad thing about Nicki Minaj. As far as her albums have went, she's been on a downward progression. And what's crazy is I feel like people pawn, let me make sure my levels are right. People pawn that off on 50. Like they say 50 was in a downward progression, which I'll beg to differ and argue all day. But I'm a 50 head. I'm a Nicki head like I'm a 50 head. And I'm going to tell you like this. Nicki has certainly had a downward progression. Pink Friday was great. Pink Friday Roman Reloaded was good. Pink Print was cool. Queen, which I haven't heard in totality, but I've heard most of it. Queen was, all right, cool. It was cool. It might have been better than Pink Print. But it's not, and I understand people want the old, people always want the old somebody. And it's not even that. I feel like she's trying to be the old her. Like, number one, I'm going to tell you what's annoying, what she does. And she did this all over Queen. Rapping in the patois accent. You're doing it too much. It's cool when you do it on a track or two. But when you're trying to do it on every verse that you think you're really spazzing on, it actually waters it down. Stop doing that. That takes away from the impact of when you speak patois. Period. It does. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. And then this whole shit with her and Cardi, like number one, it's become overwhelmingly evident that she's got a pill habit, an addiction, Nicki Minaj. She keeps hating on Cardi B at every turn. It's her time. Your time is oh, you had your Pink Friday. You had your Pink Friday lipstick, and you had the drink deal, and you had everything. Now it's Cardi's turn, and both of y'all is Trinidad. Where's the Trinidadian love? And Trinidad just got hit with an earthquake. But here y'all bickering on bullshit. Why don't both of y'all send dough to send some of that bad nigga to Trinidad? See what I'm saying? Nicki, it's over. And I hate to say that, but it's over. It's over. You need to transition into acting. And truthfully, that's another mistake you made. Bitch, you've been in one fucking movie in 10 years. You went to school for fucking acting. You should have been your ass on TV or in more movies. You should have been pushing for a fucking Shaka Khan biopic or some shit like that. The fuck is wrong with you? Bitch, dropping a fucking album every 2 to fucking 4 years is not enough. I'm sorry. But I had to get that off my chest because I feel passionately about this. Like I said, I'm a fan. I've been with her. But Nicki, all the barbs grew up. They ain't fucking with you like that no more. They getting grown. They getting ratchet. They going to the fucking club. And guess what? Cardi's on. And you have to fucking eat that the same way Kim had to eat the fucking fact that you came out. The same way Remy had to sit in fucking jail and let you have a run. But here's the fucked up thing about it. That females are so fucking evil. Because why can't both of y'all win? And then Dream Doll come in and win. And then this bitch come in and this female come in and win. Why can't all of y'all win? This shit is crazy. Females have the biggest crab in a barrel mentality out of anybody because they can't all be great together. That be blue, bad bitches link up, all of that nonsense is bullshit. No, they don't. They link up and they fucking hate each other. Just like you had, and I spoke on this before, you had the trio, Cuban Doll, Asian Doll, Molly Brazy. 3 cute, young and up and coming girls. Right? Rapping. They all ain't friends no more. And shout out Asian, she just, she's doing her thing, got a little deal with Gucci, and that's great, and I'm glad. Because she's she's talented and she's beautiful, you know what I mean? Talented, beautiful sister. But back to Nicki, and to make it worse, on top of that, she looks like a complete hater when it comes to Cardi. On top of her making excuses for not having a #1 album over Travis Scott, which, I mean, that nigga's bitch is the richest bitch in the world. Fucking devil, Kylie Jenner. So you shouldn't even have expected and anticipated to outsell him. But then on top of that, nigga, your tour gets canceled because you can't put more than 5,000 people in Barclays. That's fucking beyond my understanding. How her tour. Watch this, y'all. Watch this article. This is via page 6. Watch this. It says Nicki Minaj has spiraled out of control, say top music industry insiders, and disastrous ticket sales for her now canceled tour. She on tour with fucking Future, and they canceled this shit. But look, here's the cool thing. They had the little tiff between Nicki and Cardi earlier in the year, and then they kind of squashed it at that satanic Met Gala event. My thing was, what they should have did was have the Nicki versus Cardi fucking tour with Future. That would have been crazy. But now watch. Instead, it's just Nicki and Future, which it's crazy to me that Nicki and Future can't pack houses. Like, that's outside of the realm of my understanding. But it says Nicki has spiraled out of control, says top music industry insiders. Hold on a second. She just spoke on this. This is complex. And she's been, I forgot, she's been bugging and doing too much on Twitter, cursing out Sicarii, and she knocked Sicarii for getting the VH1 check. And I'm gonna be real, Nicki, baby, if you can't pack houses, your ass gonna be looking for a VH1 check real goddamn soon. Why do you think all the basketball wives came back? Because when everything else ain't working, nigga, VH1 got a check. Hold on. Hold on one second. Wait a damn minute. Wow. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna read this article and I'm gonna go to the next because she's trying to say she didn't cancel anything, which she did, but she didn't. Okay, and I'll explain now that I have full scope through the spirit of the understanding of the situation. So yeah, it says industry sources told us that Minaj has been freaking out about painfully slow ticket sales for her North American tour with Future, which had been scheduled to start next month but was canceled late Tuesday night. A Live Nation source told us Nicki's tour looked to be the most disappointing ticket sales of the year for any artist. She and Future were booked in big arenas with around 20,000 capacity. As of Tuesday, the source added sales for opening night in Baltimore were just 2,000 tickets. LA was 3,400 for a 17,000 person capacity venue. New Orleans, 1,000. Denver, 1,300. Chicago, 3,900. Even Nicki's hometown of Brooklyn, which she's from Queens, but New York, and I don't think there's a Queens arena. When you got NYC arena, but I mean, that probably would have been better for her. She would have packed NYC arena out. Even Nicki's hometown of Brooklyn, the Barclays Center, which has a capacity of 19,000, only sold 5,050 tickets. This is crazy. Live Nation said in a statement following her unforgettable VMA performance, Nicki Minaj has decided to reevaluate elements of production on the Nicki Hendrix tour and to contribute more time to rehearsal ahead of her tour's launch to make certain her fans get an absolute best quality so that they deserve. But the truth is, Nicki's tour ticket sales were not just in the toilet; they were totally down the drain. There was no way the tour could go forward. The Live Nation source added. What was that? So she ain't selling now. She's saying she ain't cancel it. She reversed. So she's gonna do Europe first because the European leg is selling better, and then basically to stall out to give more time to give America a chance to care and go to the show. This is crazy. I would never think of the day that Nicki Minaj couldn't back out an arena, especially with Future. That just goes to show it's over. You know, not to say that she's garbage and she shouldn't put out music anymore, but you being the top pop star, female rapper, it's over. It's done. I mean, you're done. It's nothing that can be done about it. Nothing that can be done about it. Right? But I mean, I could rant more on that, but I'm gonna just leave it there for now. I'm gonna go to my story time. We're gonna end off, and I'm glad to be back with the podcast through the spirit of power, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. But okay, story time. When I brought a gun to school, okay, it's a little bit of an embellishment. I didn't bring a gun to school. My friend did. But it wasn't a gun. It was a BB gun, not an actual gun. All right. See how I clickbait you niggas. Anyway, so yeah, this is 8th grade. The homie Bashari, he got this fresh little BB gun, man. He had brought it to school, boom, in a backpack, but they had no magazine in it or clip in it, right? So, you know, but we stunting with it, like we pulling it out on niggas, we scaring niggas, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. He got it, I got it. The homie Danielson had it. So we walking home. He used to be this dude, brother, black kid, man. He used to walk home with all the girls, and niggas used to think he was gay, but he used to be having them. So we were like, but it was young. We still young. He was only like 6th, 7th grade. But he used to always, you know, walk with the girls. So we tried to scare him. I was like, yo, give me the joint. Boom. I had it in my waistband. I walked up on him, like, what's up, nigga? I pull up my shirt. I'm like, what's up, nigga? I remember the girls, they start covering their face, screaming, oh my God, it's a gun. I tell you, this man, bro, it was no fear in his heart whatsoever. And I feel bad and stupid for doing it, because I just pulled this picture on this brother for no reason. He's not a gangbanger or nothing. A lot of people said his pops was a Black Panther. But he really was totally unfazed by it. Like, you know, I mean, there's no problem here, you know that. So that was great. But then we pulled it on the little white boy. Like, yeah, what's up, nigga? Then the white boy looked at the gun. Man, he was like, hey, man, there's no mag in that. He peeped, there wasn't no clip in there. So I pulled the motherfucker out. I said, white boy, I'll pistol whip the shit out you with this shit. And, you know, scared his little bitch ass. He was a little punk. The homie Bashari ended up socking on him one day, which was great. It was kind of like that. That happened a few times where, you know, you accidentally send your anger towards your own, and then it's like, wait a minute, there's a white boy right there. Get him. Because it was another time where I was fighting the homie Bashari. He was like my best friend in 8th grade, and I was fighting him. We were fighting after school, and we just stopped. And the Bashari looked at this same little white boy. I forget I think his name was Nick. No, it wasn't Nick. I forget his goddamn name. Another white boy was named Nick. It's Devil. But he was little, short as fuck, but he was always be just running his little cracker mouth, man. So anyway, the homie just stopped fighting me, looked at him, and went over to him, man, and served this nigga. Damn it. I mean, you would have thought his face broke. The fucking Devil cried the whole way home. It was hilarious, man. Right? Long story time, right? No, it wasn't really all that long. That's all I had. Wasn't none of that event. We pulled the pistol out. Nigga noticed with a mag, and none of that eventful. So that was story time. With that, again, it's good to be back. How long we go? Hour and a half almost. Goddamn. But yes, I'm glad to be back, and I want to again give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and I hope to continually steadily bless y'all with these podcasts, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Screw the Hebrew son off again. All praise Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Shalom.